of Fox Tales. Yes, there's been a little rebranding since last time we were here. I am now Johnny Fox. I have always been Johnny Fox. I always will be Johnny Fox. So this is now Fox Tales. What tales are we going to regale you with today? I hear you cry. Well, right here, right now, I'm joined by a man named Shig, which that alone isn't something you get every week. So I'm gonna hand it over to you, Shig, to tell the kids at home a little bit more about who you are and what you do.
Well, I am a man named Shig, and I am actually a builder. But currently, and why you're talking to me today, is because I'm making a full-size fiberglass Doctor Who Tardis prop.
Because why not?
Because why not? Well, it's actually because somebody asked me to do it for their
Yeah.
fan film.
All right.
So he said, I need a TARDIS, a full-size TARDIS, made out of fiberglass so that it won't rot in the rain. And can you make one? So I said, yes, let's get on it.
Ah.
However, that was quite a while ago. So the project has had delays over the year. So we're kind of trying to get back on track now. But that's the plan. And the whole journey I was going to try and document on TikTok because that's what the kids like to use, apparently. And I know nothing about TikTok. So we decided, the kids came up with the name of the TikTok TARDIS.
Can't be a bit of alliteration.
Exactly.
Exactly. It works every time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So builder by trade, building in
Yes.
your spare time. So you must really actually like that shit then. Unlike me, my day job. This and my day job are two very different, very separate things.
Well, yeah. I mean, this is pretty different to a degree from what I normally do, building. I've worked with fiberglass before with roofs and stuff, but sort of making an actual prop, casting it, and all that has been a learning process.
So when you say life size,
Yes.
are there some like actual official TARDIS dimensions somewhere that you've discovered to work from, or
Fine. I have to make them. I have to do a lot of research. And one of the things I did do was pop down to Media City in Manchester because they've got one of the props
all right,
there. So I went down there, took lots of photographs and measurements, and then discovered apparently that it actually might not be that accurate because it was a replica made by a company that does normally make fiberglass TARDIS props. But unfortunately, they don't seem to be doing them at the minute for whatever reason. I've heard different reasons, which is why I ended up doing this because nobody could get hold of somebody to make it. And the young lad who's doing his fan film just reached out to me and said, "Is there any chance you could do it?"
all right.
So yeah, I went there, I measured that. I then got in touch with someone. There's a whole builders group on Facebook, and one of the lads on there, young lad, very very talented, called the TARDIS Man actually, and he does the most accurate renderings of all different TARDISes from all the seasons, old ones, new ones. Um, and he gave me a sketch with no dimensions, which was accurate, but there's no scale to it. So I added some of the measurements I'd taken and then CAD'd my own version from the ground up. I had to learn CAD, and then that gave me the blueprints, and that's what I was working off.
So every aspect. So before you if you get to any sort of physical craftsmanship, it's been a bit of an adventure.
Yes.
Just
Yes. So that was to get sizes down, and then I had to make the parts the good old-fashioned way with timber. So to make the parts, so then I could cast them into a silicone mold.
all right. So is there so the dimensions aren't necessarily particularly official. as such.
Not official. I mean, I'm hoping it's probably the most accurate one you're going to get.
Yeah. Is there like is it a particular shade of blue?
Yes, it is.
It is.
It is. This one is. This one is Castled Rhine by Valspar.
Okay. So is
That's
the
how.
so I'm fairly casual. Doctor Who's the thing I'm fairly casual with. I want to like it. I do like my sci-fi, and I want to like it a lot more than I do. But
I think a lot of people are saying that.
I've always been like it. Even as a kid. It's not the whole like woke bullshit or whatever people want to complain about. I'm not that doesn't bother me one bit. I've always felt the same about Doctor Who that I've just always, even as a kid, I just always wished it wasn't like a kids show.
Yeah.
I always kind of saw this potential for this great sci-fi show that can still, be okay for kids to watch because I don't expect it to be full of blood and guts and swearing, sex and drugs or anything anytime soon. But that it could still work, on the same level as your Star Treks or
Yeah.
whatever else is out there, instead of maybe the campy,
Yeah. Yeah.
kiddie friendly, which is underestimating the kids. I think they can handle things,
Yeah.
a lot smarter than TV
Things
often
have
gives them
changed
credit
a
for.
lot. Did you watch the original series, like 80s, 60s, 80s?
Oh yeah, I did all the reruns,
I don't know
all
how
the
old you are,
all the black and white stuff, but I think it was probably like Sylvester McCoy
Yes, I met him
when
not long ago.
I probably watched it like maybe the most, and then on and off and on and off, and then like a lot of people, the David Tennant stuff.
Very
That was
popular.
pretty good. That was like a step in the direction I'd been wanting it to go. Like forever, there was some kind of darker episode, some like more of the science fiction and less of just the like fun monster of the week, which is always good. I'm a big fan of monster of the week kind of stuff, but yeah,
Yeah.
I don't really know what I want, you know what I mean? But I just always feel like it always seems to just kind of disappoint me slightly.
No, a lot of people are saying that. A lot of people are, especially with the new stuff. I've not seen the new one with Titi Gatwa,
Yeah,
actually, yet.
yeah.
I'm saving it, but I've not heard great things.
Nobody's got anything good to say about anything at the moment. It's
That's what I'm
like
saying.
all the cool kids are just like hating is like the cool thing that
Yeah.
everybody seems to be doing about everything. All the comic book films are crap, and Doctor Who's rubbish, and just everything's bad apparently. So, um, the moral of the story is, kids, watch it, read it, buy it, eat it, drink it yourself, and make up your own mind.
Yeah, just
As with
enjoy it.
everything. So
This is
you're
why so many people into fan films.
yeah. So I guess there's been. I mean, in my head it just seems the same, but I'm going to assume there has been at least like slight variations on Tardises over the years, as well as
Oh yeah,
the
massive.
Doctor himself.
They
Yeah.
usually used to update it every time you got a regeneration. Um, there's tiny differences between this one I'm doing now is currently what you call Jodie's TARDIS, but it's
All
also
right.
carried over to Cheetah Gatwa as well. So it's the most recent one.
So are you essentially just going to be building like the shell,
Yeah,
like
I mean it
for
will be a
sort of
shell
outside
because
purposes.
it is. Well, yes and no, because it is for a fan film for Wildfire Productions, and there is actually going to be a console room, so it is going to be bigger on the inside. But that's what top secret. So you have to wait till the fan film comes out to see
Okay.
that.
Okay.
But yeah, it is actually going to be bigger on the inside.
Impressive. Okay. So
Hopefully.
yeah. So the so the shape. So you've been doing this. for a while. You fell a little bit behind schedule. You're trying to get back on that.
Yeah, it's just a full-time job, and this kind of fits in after work or at weekends. And I'm going to work on the console room as well on occasion. So just trying to catch up when the weather's good. It's not too windy because I have to do it outside, you see, because of all the fumes. So.
Yeah, so it must be pretty cool if you any kind of even just a medium-sized fan of the franchise yourself. It must be like a pretty cool thing.
Yeah,
Not really
it's very cool.
to be able to do.
Yeah, and it's pretty cool being part of somebody else's, creation there.
Yeah.
When the fan film comes out, say, I did that.
Yeah, always doing something for someone else always obviously adds a. Do you feel much pressure though? It's not like if you're doing it for yourself, for fun, for shits and giggles, just as a fan, but doing it, for someone else's project that they're then hoping to show the world.
Yes.
Um,
That's one reason why I want to try and get it as accurate as we could. And he's been the most patient person on the planet. And he's made a very good friend doing this as well, which is a good thing.
yeah. Oh, that's great.
Wasn't expected, but it's good. Nice positive to come out of it.
Oh, massive bonus.
Yeah.
So do you? So let's. So is there anything, because I know absolutely bugger all about fiberglass or building anything. I'm not bad with a bit of Lego. I'm not bad with a bit of
Mm.
Lego. After that, I'm pretty much done. DIY. I don't put shelves up or fucking put down laminate flooring or any of that. I am.
I'll give you my number.
Yeah, I am. You letting down stereotypical men everywhere. I'm trying to think of interesting questions for you before just like moving on, because I am genuinely interested.
Would you want to see the book for the door? Because
So
that's under here.
hey, go for it.
So I'll try and move this out of the way. Doesn't look like much,
Ah,
but basically, this is the fake door that I had to make. And on camera, it probably doesn't look very good because it's on camera. But I had to put, I don't know if you can see really, but a fake wood grain because the Tardis that I'm making is very,
all
very wood
right.
grain. Because it's actually made out of timber. Original Tardis, the original police boxes weren't made out of timber; they were concrete. And then
Yeah.
the BBC decided to change it. So, so I made the whole panel from my plans, all the measurements. Added the wood grain to try and make it look like wood, and I had to do that with literally all the parts that make up the TARDIS. And then I had to cast the silicone, which is what that other bit is. So this is the actual silicone mold when I'm making the next panels. This is just a shell to give it rigidity.
Right.
And then you lay all the fiberglass in here, you lay the gel coat, the fiberglass, the resin, and then at the end of it, you end up with these, which
Oh.
are the actual test. Now they are coloured, but they're not the right colour. That was an experiment trying to colour the gel coat. But Brandon, who owns
There you
this,
go.
I took it down and he sort of had a look at it, and he was very, very happy with it, which is good. That's
Yeah.
the important thing to know. So that's that. So I've got to do that with a few more panels because obviously there's lots of them, and then I've got to do it with every other part: the posts, the base, the roof, sign boxes.
That's fantastic. That's some serious attention to detail. That's something I would not have thought of that.
Well, it's kind of the only way you can do it, really. I mean,
Yeah.
it's pretty much the way the actual prop builders did it for BBC, and it's pretty much the way, well, I presume, the company that makes the ones for sale do theirs. Because apparently they've had casts, they've done this bit from the actual prop, is what I'm told,
Okay.
which is obviously why they are official makers of them. But if they're not doing them anymore, it's difficult for people to get hold of them.
Ah, very cool.
So I've made all these, made all the books. I've got them all stored in the house somewhere, much to my wife's chagrin. Um, they've taken up so much room. I'm like, I need to get them cast so I can get rid of them. And that's it. And some parts of it are 3D printed as well.
Ah,
So not all of it's cast. Some
yeah.
parts are 3D printed. So
Ah, well,
the
that's
window frames are 3D printed.
ah,
So they're obviously not in that panel, but and what else is 3D printed? The sign, full circle sign. Is that a reverse? That's back to front, isn't it? But never mind.
okay.
And the other part that I had to design in 3D print was the lantern as well. So that's
Oh,
the top.
that's a pretty iconic piece of work right there.
It is. It's quite nice actually. But yeah, I had to learn CAD to do all that. Teach myself how to do CAD. Kind of poorly, but bit of YouTube.
Yeah. That's
If I can do it, anyone can do
human beings, kids. When we're not fucking killing each other, this is the
it.
shit we can do. This is how great we can be. You can just make it up. I don't actually know how to do it, but I'm going to say yes anyway,
Yes,
and we'll get
where
there.
you go. I
So
was
just
open about
try.
it. I did say to him, I said, look, I don't really know what I'm doing, but this is my background. This is what I've done. I'd previously tried for a different Tardis. I'd cast one a few years ago for somebody else. And then that didn't pan out. And I've always wanted to do it because it's such an expensive process. I
Yeah,
can't just do it for me. Because it is quite an expensive process because materials are so expensive.
yeah,
I think the silicone's probably the most. I think pound for pound, the silicone's the most expensive part, really.
yeah.
Um,
Oh,
so I had lots of advice. There's another guy in the TARDIS group, Mike, who has made his own resin fiberglass TARDIS. Well, his is actually a police box, not a TARDIS. It's an actual police box replica.
okay.
I went down to his, got advice of him a few years ago, um, and it was really interesting to see again somebody else that sort of taught themselves to see how they could do it. Um,
Yeah,
and it's a beautiful, beautiful box.
yeah. I had a past guest that I've had. He makes like horror movie masks.
Oh right,
Like fucking Leatherface, Pinhead, you know, you name it, and yeah, all that was like self-taught. Just a fan,
yeah,
just a passing interest and a passion, and yeah, he's got his own store. He's going great guns, and it's fantastic. Like
brilliant.
you know, they look they're so good. So it feels very like so professional. I mean, why wouldn't they be? But you just think when it's a guy that you meet because he's playing in a band, and then you get talking, and oh, talk about movies. That's my thing. And he's like, oh, I made these,
Oh yeah.
and it's you fucking top dollar stuff, and this looks like it's going to be much the same.
I think
So
some of
there's
the fans
no,
made the best.
so there's currently no. You do you have a, a, a time limit at all now that you're working
To get it
at
done,
all?
yeah, I'm hoping to get it done pretty soon because it's about 10, 11 months behind schedule
Yeah.
just because of personal reasons. And like I said, he's got his schedule for his filming. He's actually filming next week. Um, so he's borrowed somebody else's TARDIS. It's a very close knit community. Um, to do some shots. So I need it done the sooner the better. And if you follow my TikTok, you can see its progress.
Kids, the TikTok Tardis. If you want to get yourselves over there and you want to see regular updates on how this is going, and why wouldn't you? This is fascinating stuff.
Occasional, I'll do a boring live where I'm just stood here, fiberglass.
Oh, it's never boring. It's never boring. What we will do, so so let's run through like the basic Doctor Who questions for you. I'm sure you like many other things, but so do you have a favourite Doctor? Is it possible to pick one?
Probably. It's not quite. I'd go more to the original series. Probably Sylvester McCoy, especially because I've met him now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go with Sylvester McCoy. Obviously, Tom is just a legend.
Yeah. There's something I don't know what it is. It wasn't that long ago. I watched a few McCoys back, and I was still. He was. That was inspired casting. That was a good call.
If I pick one as well, I would take a Tardis. I think Tardis is my favourite from the new Who, or even Mr. Eccleston. I think he's very good. And he's a very nice guy. I've met him once.
I don't know. I don't know what went wrong there because he quit the show before it even aired.
Yeah, he didn't get on
I believe.
With the team. Shall we say?
So I don't know who upset him or who he upset or whatever. I don't know why what put him off the idea. But yeah, I always thought, shit, I could have watched more of that. He didn't do anything wrong. I have no issue with that series.
No, I thought it was very good. Very good way to bring it back.
Yeah. So, do you have a favourite assistant or companion or whatever we're calling them these days?
Companion, Clara.
Yeah. Does it bug you at all though? Wasn't Clara almost a bit too good? Like, if I'm watching Doctor Who, I want to see Doctor Who, this proper fucking smartass, a guy who can, save the universe from an insane, almost infinite army of alien, stormtroopers, with a jammy dodger. Or something. Like, that's how good he is. But with the Clara thing, it was kind of, I don't know, she just seemed to be like, she was getting there first. Or she was actually the one saving the day. Like,
that's why I like her.
Yeah, I mean, she was great at it. But
I think she worked really well with Capaldi as well. I think that was a good pairing. I think it's all about the chemistry between them as well.
Yeah. But so favorite enemies or alien race.
The silence I quite like, and Missy, because she's just amazing.
Yeah, very cool. Right, here's what we're going to do. We've talked about a TikTok TARDIS. We've talked a little bit about favourite Doctor Who's. But let's get to know the man named Shig a little bit better on a slightly more personal level. I say personal just to scare people. It's not personal at all. We're just going to play. I'm just going to get you to play a little bit of this or that.
Oh, go on.
Yeah, which essentially is just shit. Like, there's no wrong answers. There's no prizes, unfortunately, either. But just like cats or dogs.
Cats. I have 7.
What?
Yeah. 7 cats. And 4 kids.
See, now that's why there's no room for TARDIS panels.
Exactly. Get these out of the bloody house.
Okay, easy answer. Okay, beer or wine?
I don't drink, so Coca-Cola.
Me neither, actually. But okay, pizza or kebab?
Oh, pizza.
Now, is that like a vegetarian thing or just a pizza
No.
now?
Bit of meat face, chicken and sweet corn.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong with it.
Why not? Why not? Okay. Country retreat or city living?
Oh, country. Get away from everybody.
Everybody. Yeah, the thing is, we all want to get away from it all, and if we all did, then we're all going to be there.
We're all in the same place. We're going back to the
Kind of
same.
spoils the whole point, but whatever. Um, okay, would you rather go skydiving or scuba diving?
Oh, Jesus. I can't swim, and I'm scared of heights. So I don't know. Probably scuba diving.
What have we got? What have we got? Okay. Would you rather have money or free time?
Oh, my God. Money.
I say this every freaking episode, but like in theory, the money buys you the free time, right?
Exactly.
If you've got
That's
the
exactly
money,
what I'm
you can pay someone to fucking walk the cats or whatever, so you've got more time to make Tardises or
Exactly.
Tardai. What's the
No, no.
plural of Tardis? Is it Tardai or just?
It's Tardis. No, 'cause it's an acronym, so it can't be
Oh yeah,
Tardis.
yeah,
But people either say TARDISes or just TARDIS,
yeah.
plural TARDIS. Like sheep or Lego.
Or is there like a collective noun
Oh,
for
oh, I think there
multiple
actually is. But I can't
Tardis?
remember what it is. I was looking at that the other day.
Yeah,
Yeah, a fleet probably. A fleet of
well,
TARDIS
yeah,
because it's
could
spaceship,
be,
isn't it?
could be. Okay.
Probably.
Right. Oh, big parties or small gatherings?
Oh, small gatherings of one person. That's me.
Quality over quantity.
It depends what it is. If it's money,
Right.
quantity. Um, probably
polka dots or
quality.
polka dots or stripes?
Oh, stripes.
Stripes. Oh,
Yeah.
would you rather see a puppet show or a magic show?
Ooh. Magic show.
Magic show. Magic show. Now, what kind of magic do you like? Do you like the kind of like the close up, misdirection kind of stuff, or do you want to see the big like make the Empire State Building disappear kind of shit?
No, no, because that's just I don't know. Just I like this smaller stuff because it makes you think more of oh how have they done that.
Yeah,
I like a lot of that Penn and Teller filming. I like watching that on the old YouTubes because that's quite nice. Sometimes you can figure out, sometimes you don't have a clue how they've done it. So.
yeah. I was always a huge Penn and Teller fan.
Yes.
If you're familiar with this, I love those guys. I miss those guys. They're very incredibly amusing, incredibly funny, incredibly smart, incredibly good magicians.
Yes,
And they had a show where they showed you how the trick was done.
they did.
But the
They
real
did.
trick was, while showing you how they did the trick, they were doing another trick that you didn't see
Yes.
coming.
And the
And then you were like, well, how the fuck did you do that one? While you were showing me that other one. Oh,
absolute genius.
fantastic stuff. Okay. Would you rather be a vampire or a werewolf?
Vampire.
Vampire. Everybody picks vampire. Everybody.
Yeah.
What's
I mean,
wrong with being a hairy mammal?
I don't want to be
Telling your kids
doing
it's
it,
fine.
like, and have you seen American Werewolf in London? That transformation looked painful. I don't want
Oh,
to do that.
it does look painful. It's also one of the coolest
Sleep
things
all day.
in
Stella
cinematic
Sunrise.
history.
It's very amazing.
That film will never leave my top five. I don't think it'd be many films have come since. None of them will have managed to push it out the five.
John Landis, absolute
Oh,
genius.
oh man. I said, Mummy, a naked American man stole my balloon. That's
The best
ah,
acting in the entire
I love
movie.
that thing. Okay, let's. Okay, let's jump into the controversial one.
Oh God.
Star Trek or Star Wars?
Star Wars.
Star Wars is the right answer. I mean, there's no wrong answers.
Apart from that one. I've never really seen. The only Star Trek I've really seen is the new movies. I say new,
Yeah,
probably about 10 years old now. But the ones that came out, and I quite enjoyed them. But I
yeah,
didn't have any like
yeah.
reference
The
of
fun.
what it's about. You know, you obviously know who Captain Kirk is and all that. But I never got into the Next Generation or any of that, or Picard when that came back out. So, yeah, Star Wars. Having said that, none of the new Star Wars.
No. When we say
No,
again,
no,
when we say new Star Wars, are we going like all the way back to Episode 1, or do we mean like the new, like the Disney TV show Star Wars,
to me,
Mandalorian?
it's 4, 5, and 6. There's Rogue One, which is exceptional, and that's it. I've seen The Mandalorian, not that good. I've not seen any of the other ones, so I don't know.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Okay. Uh, oh, that's about it for that. Okay.
So what's your top five?
I
What's
mean,
your top five films? Then? You said you like your films. What's your top five films?
do you know off the top of my head? I mean, you'd think I'd just have my top 5 films, but it changes.
Yeah, I was just going to say they
All
change every
the
time.
lists, all my lists, the same. All the lists that I have in my head are organised the same way that I used to organise my record collection, and that I organised my DVD collection. Some people would do it like alphabetically. Some people might do it chronologically. Some people might do it by like genre. They'll put all the horror films over here, and all the heavy metal albums over here, and all the electronic albums over there. Whatever. All my stuff is always like autobiographically done, or done by emotion, done by how I'm feeling. Um,
Nothing wrong with
and
that.
all the stuff that I need right now to get me through whatever I'm going through gets moved to a place of easier access,
Yeah,
so I can
that's
grab
nothing
it
wrong with
and
that.
use it. So it's constantly being rearranged, but it's stuff like Reservoir Dogs, American
Yeah.
Werewolf in London, um, Clerks.
Oh, good one.
Yeah, yeah, very. And then the other, they're the three. They're the three,
And
and
then
the other two can be
shuffle the other two.
very much up for grabs.
That's fair enough.
But because I do believe Reservoir Dogs was one of those just game changers. It changed everything. Anybody, kids, if you don't know what Reservoir Dogs is, if you have to Google it, go back a bit. You've got to go back a few years, decades, to find it. But everything that you watch and like now would not happen if that film didn't happen. And I mean everything. Everything now does things that way. The pacing, the script,
Yeah.
the speed of it, the fast talking, the throwing in pop culture references, everything from like sitcoms like Friends. No Reservoir Dogs, there's no Friends, there's no Big Bang Theory, or any of that, if you like that, without Reservoir Dogs. There's no Marvel Cinematic Universe
Yeah.
without Reservoir Dogs. Um, Without Tarantino, but with Reservoir Dogs being his first film,
Yeah.
it really set a whole new standard that everybody's a blueprint, if you will, that everybody's been working from since.
Yeah.
That's not that I really pay much attention to that kind of thing. I just got a real passionate rant because one day I'll get Tarantino on here. Yeah, right.
Yeah. You never know. You never know.
That
Aim
was
hard.
a
Start with Shig. Get to Tarantino.
yeah. Well, I mean, we were supposed to be talking about you, and I'm talking about me, but that was a big thing when in a past life, when I was trying to make it as a musician, that was the thing that I would have like retired on. That was the big ultimate goal. Like,
Yeah.
get one of my songs in a Tarantino movie,
That would be
and then I die
amazing.
happy. Then I just quit. Like, it can get no better than that. I don't. Number ones, being on Top of the Pops. I don't know. Any of that. Top of the Pops, kids. If you're wondering, was like YouTube, only happened where you could actually visually see your favorite artist performing the songs that you like. It only happened on Fridays at 7 o'clock for half an hour, instead of being 24/7 on demand. That's how bad we had it. It was in the dark times.
In the dark times.
So yeah.
Getting paedophiles to spoon feeders miming.
Yeah, they had to mime on Top of the Pops. It was an incredibly small studio, and they had about 3 or 4 stages that were like back to back and facing each other, and putting like real amps and stuff on. The feedback was just something that you could not make work. So it just
was that the reason? I never knew the reason.
Practically
I always knew they did it.
Right. The occasional act maybe kind of got to sing live while if it was like a rock band, while the guitarist or whatever all had to mime and things like that. But pretty much, yeah, every now and again they would try and make a special effort for certain people, but pretty much, yeah, it was just about impossible to pull off as a live event anyway.
But like you said, it's all there. So
meanwhile,
we're happy for it.
Meanwhile, back to Shig. So, when it comes to when you get any time for movies and TV shows, besides Doctor Who, so I guess would sci-fi be your main thing? Or?
Yeah. I mean, type of films I'd like, pretty much anything really. I like good horror. I do like the sci-fi, obviously the Marvel stuff. I love 80s movies, which I've got 80s sleeves. So, yeah, I'd say a lot of 80s stuff.
Oh, we can lean into that for a few minutes. So, go on. So your favourite stars or movies or directors of the 80s then?
Oh,
what are we watching? It's
Spielberg.
Movie night at Shig's place, kids.
Movie night at Shig's place.
Watching?
Oh, Back to the Future is a given.
Well, not for everybody. I'm quite surprised.
Which is weird.
I just assumed it was one of those universally loved things. Well, certainly for people of a certain age. And I've only recently discovered through doing this that it's not. I've got to stop taking that for granted. There are people who absolutely despise it.
They are wrong. They are the people I want to go to the country retreat away from.
Yeah. Okay, so back to the futures. I mean, that's a whole evening. That's a whole trilogy we've got to do.
It is sort of.
It is. It's essentially like the same film 3 times. So
yeah, kind of.
We've got to admit that, however much you might like it. But
the first one, I could just watch all day long. The Matrix, Fight Club.
Yeah.
See there? They're 90s, getting closer.
Matrix, yeah.
Memento.
With
the Memento.
Matrix, my hot take on the Matrix is they really should have just left it there.
Oh yes.
It is a great movie, but it's just not enhanced by any of the sequels.
Not at all.
They don't serve any purpose to me. They don't even move the story on or anything. Like all the stories right there in the first one. Not everybody gets it. I'm not going to get snobby about this, but not everybody gets it. But it is all there. And then
do you know what like the third one better though? The fourth one, because the fourth one's so horrendous. It shouldn't have even been allowed to be released.
Yeah. But then again, good old Canoe. Mr. Reeves, he will do because he's such a nice guy. I'm pretty sure I could get him on here. I just need to be able to contact him. I just need to be able to ask him because he seems to say yes to like anything and everyone. You know?
Go down the music route rather than the movies. Say, come and talk about your music.
Yeah, I mean that'll do. I mean, if I could just offer him, if I can offer him an action figure or something, he'll be like, yeah.
I'll put them
I
as
mean,
Tardis.
it can't be right. It can't be true though, can it? It can't be right. Keanu Reeves cannot actually be Keanu Reeves. Nobody is that nice. I actually struggle. I mean, to be so skeptical for one so young and pretty. But I sometimes read these stories about Keanu Reeves. You know, like it just meets a guy in a bar, and the guy goes, "Oh, I'm getting married tomorrow. If you want to come, you know, for a
Yeah.
laugh." And of course, he turns up. You know, because he's got nothing
Comes up.
better to do than go to a complete stranger's wedding. You know,
Why
shit like
not? Eh? Why
that.
not?
It's like nobody does that. Nobody's that nice, especially not multi-millionaire A-list Hollywood stars. You know, like
He's the only one that's got an invite to my country retreat. It's going to be me and Keanu in the middle of nowhere.
but my Keanu go-to, great as the Matrix is, it'll always be Point Break.
Oh, yes, very good.
Oh,
Especially Patrick.
oh yeah.
Yeah, it's very good. Roadhouse. That's it. I never saw the remake.
I need to watch the remake actually.
Yeah, apparently it's not bad. It's just
I mean,
it's just the same.
I do really love I do really like Gyllenhaal as a role. I tend to try anything that he's in. So I've been meaning to get round to it. Okay, so I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit here. Okay,
Go on.
so we had a few had some little taste of controversy. You know, not everybody Star Trek or Star Wars. Not everybody's like into Back to the Future. But so, do you have? Because I think everybody does. You might need a little bit of thinking time, but I think everybody has one of these. Is there a film or a TV show that you know is kind of generally somewhat universally panned, but you want to fight for it, stick up for it, you like it. You go, I don't care what they say. I liked it.
Oh, I don't know. Um, I'm trying to think.
I mean, I've got a few. You want some inspiration?
I've got one that I think of fondly, but I think it's more people don't either remember it or watched it. And again, it's back from the 80s. But it was there was two actually. There was Street Hawk, and The Greatest American Hero. If anyone
Oh yeah,
even remembers, I don't know if anyone remembers that. But,
yeah. I mean, the Greatest American Hero was kind of Shazam, sort of,
kind of, yeah,
in its own way.
yeah. But I can't really think of. Yeah, I don't know. I
I
don't
mean,
know.
see if I can get a bit of backup.
Yeah, go on.
On some of these. Waterworld. The Kevin Costner
Yeah, no, that
most
was pretty
expensive
blank.
movie ever made at the time,
Yes, it
I
was.
believe. It's a huge box office bomb.
Which is strange because there was no props; it was just water. So it's like water and a green screen. What are you spending the money on, Kev? Come
Yeah, well, apparently
on.
water's just notoriously the hardest thing to do in movies because you can't. Even today, I think it's hard to CG, so you need some real water. So when you start using real water, then it's just logistically difficult to film. And if you want to do Mad Max, but instead of sand, it's water,
Yeah,
that's that's a lot to take on. But they did, and they got Dennis Hopper, and
yeah.
I fuck it, I like it. I like
I probably got
it
seen it since
spawned
it
a
came
whole
out.
bunch of action figures and toys. If you can find them, you can probably get like the entire playset for like 10 pence now because nobody wanted them. There's probably a storage locker somewhere with thousands of the fucking things because nobody bought them because nobody liked the movie. But they're out there somewhere. I'd have one.
Yeah,
Another one for me is Hudson Hawk.
brilliant. I love that.
I know, thank Christ, there's three of us.
I love that. I thought it was brilliant. Work you out to swing on a star.
Yeah.
Brilliant film. I love
Oh,
it.
I will fight for that film with my dying breath. There's
I
nothing
will
wrong
be
with Hudson Hawk. It's a
standing
great
beside her with that one.
sort of fun action heist. What more do you want? It's Bruce Willis. It's peak Bruce Willis as well. I mean, he
It
was.
is.
But I mean, like winning the. It's not quite the award-winning Bruce Willis we get a few years later, but it's still
Still,
peak
still
Willis.
close.
It's the
Yeah.
charisma, the kind of comedy timing chops, with the little hint of action hero. You know, he's out of moonlighting. He's Hudson
Yeah.
Hawk, and it's great.
I stand by that one.
It's
Yeah, you
great.
got me with that one.
Excellent. Like I said, there's three of us now that I'm aware of. neither of us
You mean
neither of us
Bruce
being
Willis?
neither of us being Bruce Willis. I couldn't ask him now, and sadly, I couldn't ask him now if I wanted to. What he thinks of that film, because the poor fucker can't remember, that doesn't even know that he is Bruce Willis, which is such
No,
a shame. Such a shame.
tragic.
But time get to us all. Uh,
Does.
another one. I'm gonna slide in. I'm gonna sneaky. I think I might. I think I just might get some backup on this as well. I think. Let's see. I mean, we're meeting for the first time here as well. So let's see how good my first impressions radar is. Can I get some backup for the old comic book superhero Billy Zane movie
Oh,
of the Phantom?
oh, I've seen it once when it came out,
Yeah,
and if I'm honest, I don't recall it that much. I didn't necessarily hate it,
yeah.
so I'd have to
I
watch it
think.
again. I don't know how well it's done, but
I mean, I guess it's not aged well, but kind of in the vein of like Indiana Jones. Even at the time it
yeah,
came out, it was done in an old-fashioned style
yeah,
anyway.
yeah.
So, like, even decades after that, like from the 90s through to 2024, um,
Oh,
you know. But
I've got one for you. In that ilk, Dick Tracy, Warren
Dick
Beatty,
Tracy, it
Madonna.
is terrible. It's beautiful. It's absolutely fucking stunning to just look at as like a
Yes,
work of art. The cinematography, um, I mean, if you're into movies, cinematography, lighting,
yeah,
like the kind of from like a technical point of view, yeah, like check out that movie in the same way
fantastic.
people are watching like fucking Avatar 2, and shit like that. But Dick Tracy was doing it all live action, and
Yeah,
it is beautiful. I don't know if it's good film to watch, but I mean, it's
I
Dick
think it is
Tracy,
what
so
it
I mean,
is.
what more does anybody expect? It does what you'd expect from a Dick Tracy movie, I guess.
Yeah, I suppose there's not many people remember the
I,
cartoon comic,
and
do
it's
they?
and it means you can get an action figure of Madonna if you want such a thing.
Maybe.
And you might just want to put her in a different box to your other action figures in case they do come to life at night when you're not looking, because you'll hear some weird noises. Anyway, but yeah, Dick Tracy. I mean, again, it did fail miserably at the box office. But again, we paid too much attention to the box office for me. Um, money isn't money isn't the barometer for which we measure whether a thing's good or not. I know plenty of films that have made a lot of money. I know plenty of musical artists that sell a lot of records. I still think they're shit. That's just me. I know plenty of movies that made no money. I mean, as a big Kevin Smith fan, I know plenty of movies that make no money, but I love them. So, you know, each to their own. Again, the moral of the story is, kids, it's up to you. Make up your own mind. Don't listen to me. Don't listen to Shig. Don't listen to some idiot on YouTube trying to tell you, that this is a must watch, that this is a 10 out of 10, or that this is 1 out of 10.
Nobody
No,
listens to me.
everybody. This is one thing I don't do here. I don't do reviews. I do reviews in the sense of talk about a thing after seeing a thing or whatever. That's essentially reviewing it. But giving scores and shit like that, I made a promise to myself early on never to do that, because that's kind of that thing that dictated to people, you should do this and you should not do that. And it's bullshit. I don't know why people do that. I don't know why anybody clicks on those channels and gives those channels any time of day. I don't know why people watch that. If you want to know if it's good, watch it. I'm like, I'm just going to watch this YouTuber and see what they think before I go see it. Why?
Make your own mind up.
If if you've seen the trailer or you already know like the franchise, if you're already a comic book fan or whatever, and there's a new comic book movie, well, go watch it then. I mean, ask a friend if you've got. I have friends who I know very well, and so their opinions, on a personal level,
Yeah.
I may ask them from time to time what they think. That kind of matters to me. That will influence me at least a little. But as for be it the mainstream media or social media, they can all fuck off.
Yeah. To be fair, I usually have the opposite opinion of most people anyway. I'll like something that everyone hates or hate something that everyone likes. So.
I mean, it could be often the case. So what's the okay then? So what's the thing? Let's do it. Let's do it.
Go on.
What's the thing that you dislike? I won't say hate. There's one thing I hate. It's hate. I hate. Everything else in between is pretty cool. What's the thing that you do that you dislike, that you have no time for, and everybody else seems to pretty much like it?
Oh. One film. You want to talk about films specifically? One film that I can. I've had many an argument with people like this that I just cannot like, no matter how many times I try to watch it. Blade Runner. It looks good. I'm not going to deny that, but it's boring as balls. I've watched it. Every time I've watched it, I've fallen asleep, literally. But since it came out in the 80s, I tried again, and then people go, oh, well, you need to watch this version and this version because this has got Becca's commentary, and it's like, well, which one's the right one? And I just can't enjoy it. I have tried, and everyone says it's amazing, and I just can't.
Just can't make it to the end.
No.
I do empathise. You're not wrong. It's not exactly a balls to the wall action spectacular, but I mean that's not what they were going for. It is what it is. I think it is. It is one of those films. I think you're going to like it or you don't. I do feel like, in a sense, again, not to be like some fucking film snob, but I do feel like it's one of those films where a lot of these people telling you how you should watch it, how it's this classic, haven't actually watched it either. It's one of those films where it's become this revered classic thing. So people just don't have the guts to do what you just did and go, it's boring, I can't make it to the end. I think a lot of people, you've got to be in the right mood, to get through the damn thing. I do like it. I appreciate it. I can't just stick it on any day of the week for fun, though. You know what I mean? I totally appreciate you've got to, it's heavy going, so it's not for everyone.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
So given your feelings on the all-time classic Blade Runner. I guess the sequel really had held no interest for you whatsoever. Then.
No, I started watching it. Apparently, you can watch it without seeing the first one, but I did start
Yeah,
watching it.
yeah.
Got 10 minutes in, if that, and didn't like it. Set it off. It was the same. It's like it's just the same.
It kind of is. Yeah, it's really more of a reboot. In
Yeah,
all honesty, and they get Harrison Ford to make a cameo. Yeah.
yeah, I've heard that. He pops up and goes, "Yeah, just shag the robot, didn't I?" I'm like, "What?" I don't know. I don't know. That's what I've not seen
Yeah.
it.
I mean, I do. I mean, I try and, especially since I started doing this, I do feel a bit more of a sort of professional obligation to kind of watch more things that I maybe might have skipped, uh, because somebody might want to talk about it, and I have no right to talk about it if I haven't seen it, So, um, like, and sometimes I like to. I do really like. I don't know if you do this, but I do like to give things a second chance. You've said you've tried with Blade Runner multiple times. I do like to give
Yeah,
things a second or even third chance because, as I say, a lot of my sort of like pop culture loves, be it music, movies, or whatever, is very autobiographical, very mood based. For me,
yeah,
the amount of times I've really not liked a thing and tried it later, maybe even years later, and thought, God, I really enjoyed that. What was wrong with me? Or the other way around, you know?
yeah. I've done that. With what was it now? I can't remember what it was now. Oh, it's going to bug me now. But I have done that very same thing. Hated a movie when I was younger. Um, Watched it just by chance later on, and then gone. I know what it. I know one of them actually. I say younger. Jesus, I was still old when it came out. One thing I didn't like when it came out. It's a Bruce Willis film as well. Um, oh bloody hell, what's it called? The superhero one.
Unbreakable.
That's the one. Watched that when it first came out. I thought this is rubbish.
Yeah.
Watched it a few years later, maybe 10 years later, maybe 5, 10 years later. Thought it was brilliant. Just loved it. I was like, why did I not like this film?
Yeah. And now it's a whole, what's this? Like, there's three, isn't there?
Oh,
Now?
yes,
It,
Split is phenomenal. Love
yeah,
that.
Unbreakable,
Second one.
is it Glass? And
Well, yeah, it was the third one.
and yeah, I not too long ago, I watched them back to back for the first time. I've seen them all individually. I've seen some of them more than once. Well, I actually sat and that was my evening. I watched the three of them back to back, and it's yeah, good times.
Yes,
Well, people
very good times.
kind of hit and miss with M Night because
He has moments.
he was like hot shit for a minute, and not so much now. He's
Have you seen his
throwing a lot of
recent
stuff at
one?
the wall to see what sticks.
Well, you got to give it a go, haven't
Yeah, I mean, he does. I think his new one is out
you?
on Netflix. I think right now. I need to get round to that at some point.
Oh, right, on Netflix. Which one's that? It's not the new
I
one, is
think
it?
it's called Trap or something like that.
That's on Netflix already,
I
is it?
I'm not big on. Oh well, I think I think it's got one of the streamers. Yeah,
Oh,
as I say, Netflix is kind of like the habit go to that comes out of my mouth. But other streaming services are available, kids. Uh, I don't think I have to really say that. I'm not. I don't have enough followers to have to worry about that shit.
just illegally stream everything.
Yeah, but yeah, I think that's out there. So yeah, because I mean, like, because with like what Sixth Sense, Bruce Willis again,
Yeah.
uh, and like I think Signs
Signs.
did quite well for him, but I think that was starting. Then he did the Last Airbender. which is
I've never seen it,
pretty much
actually. I've heard it's not very good.
that's yeah.
I might be wrong.
I mean, it's one of those. It depends if you're a Last Airbender fan before watching it. You know, I think
Not at all.
not someone with like zero skin in the game, just watching a fantasy sci-fi kung fu movie. You know, it's
Yeah.
not the greatest movie ever made, but you'll probably be entertained for a couple of hours. It's not bad. I think it's really, whenever anything's like that, when everything has a pre-existing franchise, it's hard to make anything without upsetting someone. I mean, as successful as these Marvel movies have been, that hasn't stopped millions of fanboys and girls complaining about everything that they do.
Yeah.
Because again,
What's your
and
feeling?
yeah, of course, kids, of course you can tell Marvel how Marvel should be doing Marvel things. Yeah, of course you have the right to do that. Yeah, of course
What do you
you
think
know
about
better.
Robert Downey Jr. coming back?
It makes perfect sense to me. It's been a big hoo-ha. I'm trying not to get embroiled in online sort of social media wars with people. Because people have very, very strong views on something that doesn't matter. It's fiction, kids. And it's rich movie stars getting paid to do their job because that's their job. It's what they do. It's really no concern of ours whatsoever. It's certainly nothing to get, upset about. Um, but to me, it makes perfect sense. It makes perfect sense for the actor. It makes perfect sense for the studio. It makes perfect sense for the storyline. Um, it just makes sense to me. I don't see what the big deal is. It started with Robert Downey Jr. in
Yeah.
2008, and it ends with Robert Downey Jr. in whenever it'll be 2026, 7, 8. I don't know. By the time we get to Secret War, and
Yeah. 20,
it's one of those things. Again, not to be snobby, but if people have any familiarity with the source material, the thing is with the whole Marvel thing, if you've or anything, any movie based on the book, if you've read the book, you have some spoilers. Whether you
yeah.
whether you wanted them or not, you can avoid trailers all you want, but if you've read the book, you still have the spoilers. Now, movies always change things around because some things just don't work. Some things in the book just don't work cinematically. You know, they just
Yeah.
don't. No matter how much you want to whinge and whine, it should have been like this or like that. It would not have looked good on screen. You know, it would have fucked with the pacing to put all that extra stuff in that is really good when you're reading a book. That extra detail. When you're watching a film, you're just kind of like, yeah, I already know. Get to the next bit. So like that's how movies work. So if you've anyone who's actually read Secret War, so you kind of have an idea of what's coming. The MCU is different. It has twisted many, many things from the comic books because the comic books of themselves have been rebooted Christ knows how many times in the
Yeah.
decades that they've been around pre the MCU. And each Marvel movie borrows from like, oh, we'll take this from the 60s book and we'll take this from the 90s book and we'll throw this in from like last week's book to kind of be relevant. And they've been doing that the whole time. So it will be different, which is great for me because it means I don't actually have as many spoilers as I thought I would because they do keep managing to surprise me, at least in little ways, even though I kind of know overall what's coming. And Secret War, spoilers for anybody who doesn't know, kids, but spoilers, Secret War is the ending that Endgame wasn't. It ends everything. Everybody dies, right? Everybody. It's a huge fucking reset button. And then you can reboot the entire franchise and you can make all the films all over again from scratch without worrying about any past history, anything that happened in any other film, and you can cast anybody you like as any of the characters. To be honest, it works better for movies than it does in the comic books. In the comic books, Captain America will never grow old, you know?
Yeah.
But in real life, Chris Evans is sick to fucking death of being Captain America, has no love for Captain America, has been there, done that, bought the t-shirt, and doesn't want to keep doing it, you know?
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
so Secret War was always the thing they were going to do at some point, and then they can cast younger, cooler, sexier people because all these guys are getting a bit long in the tooth now. Regardless of whether they're, it's not a cash grab. It's not like, oh, they're not making the billions they used to make. Oh, the films aren't as good, so they're bringing. It's like, no, it just makes sense. It's very poetic. It's to bookend this whole cinematic experiment that everybody, that when they said we're going to do this shit before Iron Man came out, when they were putting the feelers out to directors, to writers, to trying to get funding to create Marvel Studios, eventually Disney took them up on the offer, and they talked about this cinematic universe as an idea, doing just what we do in the comic books. Everything's just one story essentially, because that's how they've been doing it on the page for decades. Everybody, very, very high profile people who know what they're doing and are very successful and have made lots of money in Hollywood, they all told them, don't do it. Don't do it. It's the worst idea ever. It's stupid. The people won't, you can't keep their attention span that long. Okay, they seem to have lost people's attention now, but my God, they had a good run at it. You know,
Yeah.
like 12, 13 years, 26 movies up to Endgame before people finally start getting a little bit like, oh, another one? Really? Unless you're me, in which case you're going, woohoo, another one! Yay! But
I think
yeah,
COVID killed them a bit as well, didn't it?
So it's the multiverse, kids. It's not that complicated. Tony Stark is dead, right? Cinematically, the Tony Stark you know and love, Robert Downey Jr.'s Tony Stark, he's dead. Yes, you saw him die. It doesn't cheapen that because he's still dead, because Tony Stark's not coming back. Same actor's playing a different character. It happens. Right? Like, it's just not that big a deal.
Yeah.
And also, like, you know, the fact that, well, Doctor Doom, Victor Von Doom has been Iron Man in the comics, and Tony Stark has been Doctor Doom in the comics. So it's just there. It's already there. The source material is there. It's not. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's an element of. There's always money involved. They want to make money. They've spent a lot of money, reportedly, allegedly. RDJ's getting something like 100 million for this comeback.
Don't know why he does it.
But yeah, which has got to help, you know. But that's not the be all and end all. He's only going to agree to do it because it's a different character. He's done Tony Stark. Now he's going to do Victor Von Doom.
Yeah.
And he's going to do it his way, and he's going to be phenomenal at it, and everybody's going to just have to eat their words.
Oh, well, he's, you know, it helps that he is a talented actor, so I'm sure it will be great. I think they'll do it well.
I'm sure it will be great. I'm sure it will be great. And just think, emotionally, while it may not be Tony Stark, it's Victor Von Doom. But nonetheless, this version of Victor Von Doom has the same face that the other universe's Tony Stark had. So if he does, at some point, remove the Doom mask, and if at some point a certain Peter Parker sees that holy shit, that's going to hit
Tragic.
him and the audience really fucking hard. Regardless of the fact that it's not actually Tony. It's still going to be a hard-hitting moment. And I'll pay to see that.
Yeah, definitely.
So anyway, so quickly, right? I'm gonna let you go, but let's talk. Let's give me some. What's on the Shig playlist while you're beavering away with your fiberglass? Well, what do you rock out to?
Hello?
Oh, right. Hey,
Oh,
that's a fantastic angle.
I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on.
It's the Gremlins. I blame the Gremlins.
It is the Gremlins. There you go. Look at the panel. Look at the mold one we saw.
Look at that.
I don't know what's going
Look,
on.
look at that handmade, fake, bespoke wood grain. Look at it. Well,
Oh, wood grain. Yes. You can kind of see it in
look at
the
that.
actual mold as well.
Carved with love,
So, well,
kids.
you were going to say something till my technical difficulties.
I just wondering, while you're, beavering away, your day job or making a TikTok Tardis, kids, get yourselves over there and check it out. TikTok Tardis, you can't not find that. It's easy to remember. Alliteration, alliteration, alliteration. Yeah. So what gets your what would be on a Shig playlist? What gets your toes are tapping and your head are nodding?
Oh, I love a bit of rock. It's usually older stuff, but yeah, I love it at the minute. My kids, my girls have got me into it. Is Youngblood.
Oh, he's
Um,
just round the corner from me.
oh, really?
Well, not literally, but
Where
yeah,
about you?
he's a Doncaster boy.
He is a Doncaster boy.
Uh,
You know what else is in Doncaster? This Tardis is going to live in Doncaster.
oh, okay.
Maybe you could do a follow-up live from the console room when it's all finished.
Yeah,
You could do one with Wildlife Productions and get him online.
regardless of the kid actually coming from my hometown and being fucking huge, I'm
You know,
particularly pretty damn talented. I actually he only came on my radar like literally about 3 weeks ago.
oh right, okay.
Because one of his songs is actually the theme tune for an anime show that I started watching.
Which one?
No, Kaiju number 8.
Yes, it is. Yes,
Yeah,
that's correct.
I didn't like the theme tune because I'm too old. But as I got into the story of the show, and obviously listening to the theme tune every episode, it just started growing on me. And then to the point that I wanted
Yeah.
to look up and listen to the full song, not just the 30-second, intro clip. And then I
Yeah.
looked it up and went, oh shit, it's like some kid from my hometown. What the fuck? How's he managed that? I spent decades working my ass off in bands. I would have killed. The next step down. If I can't get the Tarantino movie, yeah, use one of my songs for like a fucking an anime intro or maybe a pro wrestler's entrance. It would have been great. This kid's pulled it off, and more power to him.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
So that'll be
yeah, so
on the list.
that's something very current.
Oh, like
Are we?
anything, it can go from Queen, Limp Bizkit, Disturbed, Falling in Reverse, whatever. You just put stuff on when you're working, when you're doing
Yeah.
building work, because the radio is broken. It's usually only Radio 2 that works. That's all.
Oh
So you just
God.
stick a go-to on.
Right. Yeah, radio, kids.
Um,
It's like Spotify. If you've ever listened to
but
the
crap.
free version of Spotify, where you have to list, where you have to put it with adverts, it's like Spotify with ads, only with lots and lots and lots of ads, and they only plays pretty much like the same 6 songs on a loop all day.
That's very true.
If you have to, I'm not allowed. We're not allowed to have the radio on at my day job because somehow they think it will be distracting. Like we'd actually just like down tools and be like, "This is my jam," and start fucking doing the worm across the shop floor or something instead of getting the job done, which is just ridiculous. It's a health and safety hazard to have music on while we're working, apparently. But when I used to work somewhere else, we could have the radio on. I hated it. I hated it because it made me hate songs that I did like because because in an 8-hour workday I would have already heard them, you know, six,
That's
seven
very true.
times.
That is very true. Which is one reason I don't listen to the radio, really.
You know, it's terrible. But somebody offered me I've got a good old fashioned radio presenter's job. You know, I can see myself doing that though. But nobody wants that. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants somebody talking in the, while you're trying to listen to some songs. Keep being stopped by some idiot talking bollocks. Nobody wants that anymore. I mean, I don't really want that.
So,
Okay, so kids, this has been time well spent with a man called Shig. Which a sentence I just can't. I'm not going to get bored of saying. It's just so much fun. Could have been Steve. Could have been Mark. Could have been Derek. But no, I'm here with Shig, and well, that's just great to say. I mean, because when you're a John, right? Which is like the most boring, vanilla, ridiculous name you can give your kids. Kids, if you're having kids, don't call them John. It's pathetic. Try harder. Try harder. I mean, don't give them some overly interesting name that will get them bullied and beat up for the rest of their fucking lives. But don't call them John
that
either.
often, anyway.
Sure, find a balance. Find a balance. So don't call your kids TikTok Tardis, right? However honouring you might mean it, it's ridiculous. There was a kid in my kid's class. My baby boy. I mean, he's like 21, lives at the other side of the country at university. But my baby boy. But there was a kid in his class called Beverage.
That's so strange. Did I call my nephew Beverage?
I mean, each to their own, not to judge, and I'm sure he's a lovely lad. I'm sure he'll grow up and go on to do great things. He could be a future prime minister and all that. But still, Beverage. I mean, for a guy as well, I mean, even if you shorten it, he's then called Bev, which that's going to cause him a few problems, I would have thought. Potentially. Only with the wrong people, of course, because, what's in the name. But, yeah, one of the stranger ones that I'm aware of in real life. A personal pet hate. Do you have any, like... Is there any, like... Is there a name? As crazy as it is, but since we're on names, because we're talking to a man called Shig. See, I said it again. I told you I love it. Is there a name that you just think that you've ever come across or heard? You've just thought, why? Like, you don't mean to be judgmental or anything, but it's not like you'd actually go up and take the piss or have a problem or shout at the parents or anything. But, like, at least inwardly, you've just thought, like, what? Why?
Oh, so this is where you offend people, isn't it? Good. I don't know. There's not many Christians in the world anymore. That used to be quite horrendous.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I feel sorry for those
I'd
kids.
imagine.
Tristram's and his best friend Lucian. They're,
Yeah, I
yeah.
can
I hope they're
imagine
all right wherever you are. I hope you're. I hope you're doing all right. I hope you got through it.
a
Um,
boy named Sue.
and you know what's a real pet peeve of mine?
Go on.
Ex Tina. Ex
Okay.
Tina. Christina, which is a perfectly lovely
Yeah,
name, when they insist on spelling it ex Tina.
I've
Which is
never
fine.
come
It's
across that.
cool. We're all
Wow.
like on the internet and we have our handles and shit like that. But we've reached a
Yeah.
point in society where there's that sort of like social media generation, I guess, and some of them are actually like it's on the birth certificate. They're naming their kids what I would say ex Tina, which
Right.
and I will, and
Yeah,
if that's your name and I see it written down, I will call you ex Tina. You will never. I can't do it. I'm not going to call you Christina because it's not your fucking name. Your name is ex Tina,
it
which is
works for a
fine,
job.
which is great. I'm sure you're lovely and we can be friends, right? As long as you're okay with me calling you ex Tina, as that is your name. If you want to be called
That's the family
Christina,
name,
you're going to
Tina.
have to change your name to Christina, and then I'll call you that. I don't know how we got here. We're supposed to be talking about Tardises. But if you've tuned into one of these before, kids, this is how it rolls.
Off the tangent. Off on a tangent. There's not wrong with that. Technical glitches, bad signal.
so, oh, couple of potentially quick questions because they could be a simple no or
Go on.
shut up, or you might have a story to tell. We'll soon find out. Have you ever seen a UFO?
No. Well,
How's it?
I suppose technically, when you say UFO, do you mean a spaceship or do you mean an actual
Well,
unidentified flying object?
I mean an
Because
object
usually you
that's
see it,
flying that you
figure out
could
what it
not
is.
identify.
No, I'll say because usually you figure out what it is and you go, oh, it's that, or it was this. So no is the answer.
Yeah, because I mean,
Not really.
I'm also in the no camp. Although, again, since I've been doing this, I'm hearing so many stories. There's fucking something up there, man. I don't know if it's the Russians, the North Koreans, or the Martians, but there's fucking something up there because too many
I think
people have told me too many stories, too many sober stories
I would say for
about
this stuff, you're right.
some crazy
It's not.
lights and some crazy shiny objects moving in some crazy ways that,
Yeah,
747s or whatever just don't move. Uh, so there's something going on. Look to the
it's
skies,
interesting.
kid. So what about the other one? You might be able to guess where this is going. Have you ever seen
I
a
can probably
ghost?
get no, no, not at all. You know why? They don't exist.
No,
Sorry.
I am also in the no camp uh, on the ghosts. However, I do see I do see things. I don't know how open I'm supposed to be about this. I think I've mentioned it once, maybe in the past, but I do see things. I
Like
see
what?
I see shadow people.
What's a shadow person?
Yeah, I see. It can be. It ranges from kind of insect sort of shaped up to like a two
Are they
arms,
not
two
just
legs humanoid kind of shape, and it ranges from like maybe a couple of inches to maybe like a 6 foot kind of a dude. Literally shadow, like black silhouette, if you will, kind of shape. Um, it catches my attention. You know when something catches your attention out the corner of your eye and you look and there's nothing there, right? We've all done that, yeah? When something
Yeah.
catches the attention in the corner of my eye, or there's some movement, you know, like maybe you're watching the TV, like in my case, I've got the TV. It's like in the bay window.
Yeah.
Something might move like behind it, and you think, "Oh shit!" Like maybe we've got mice or something, you know. In your case, it's probably one of the fucking cats, right? So you follow that
Yes.
movement, you look, and there's nothing there. When I look, there's one of these shadowy motherfuckers there, and seems like once they notice that I've noticed them, that's when they disappear, like just gone. I don't know if I have a
Right.
mental illness. I don't know if I need to get checked out for this. This seems to cause me
Maybe.
no harm. Um, but yeah, and it's pretty fucking regular. It's a common occurrence in many places. Not just it's like the
Have you
house isn't
videoed them?
haunted because it happens. It happens at work. It happens in the supermarket. It happens on holiday. They follow me, or I see them every fucking where. Yeah,
Maybe it is you. Maybe you
yeah.
check that.
There's something about me anyway. Either I attract them, or I don't know, they attract me. But yeah, yeah. Like I say, it doesn't seem to do me any harm. It doesn't scare me. I should maybe I should be doing a YouTube fucking blog about that. Know what I
Yeah,
mean?
maybe.
Um,
Maybe.
you get these like there's all these there's money to be made in this like ghost hunting lark where nobody ever finds or sees anything, and you get
Absolutely.
a bit of shaky camera work, a bit of night vision and shaky camera work, and these fuckers make a fortune.
Yes.
Maybe,
Very true. Very true.
maybe I should stop talking to men called Shig. I did it again. I should stop doing
You
that
did.
and start a shadow hunt channel.
Hey, you
but,
never know.
it's true, I
Maybe.
tell you.
I've known people that have done it.
Yeah. So, very, 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 very last thing. You've had a deja vu, though, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Loads. Loads.
Again, this is a personal one to me. I'm trying to find out if anyone else has had this same experience. I've had a deja vu, and then after the thing triggers the deja vu, whatever it might be. Hey,
Yeah.
like the Matrix, the cat walking past, right?
Yeah.
The cat walks past and you go, deja vu. You just fucking know it did that exactly. That's the second time, whatever. That's happened. And while in that kind of ooh state of
Yeah.
deja vu, right? It then seems to drag on, and I sort of can predict the next thing that happens. Like while I'm going,
Oh.
ooh, the cat, I go,
Yeah.
and then the vase fell off, and then the vase will fucking fall off. And I've done this where I've been in that deja vu state, and I've predicted up to maybe two more things right after that
Really?
first thing prompted me. Yeah,
That's pretty impressive. I've had deja vu that's lasted, like you said, for those few things. But I've never been able to predict them. Like there'll be one thing, and then it'll be like, oh, I remember that, and then something else, and I go, yeah, yeah, then that happened. But I've never been able
yeah,
to
yeah. So
predict
yeah,
it.
so
Like I've never
yeah,
been able
you've
to
had
predict it. Like,
yeah, but you've had the multiple on the bounce experience.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, definitely.
yeah. So it's
Probably.
yeah. like that, but just in that little gap period, almost like that sort of dream state, almost being able to consciously then be aware that I'm in the deja vu and going, and now this, and now this. Holy shit! And then kind of breaking out of it.
You
Yeah,
just need it
I've done
for the
it
lottery numbers, you know?
I think I've done it twice, maybe in 45 years, but it's happened. It's happened.
No, I've definitely
But
been on
yeah,
deja vu.
but when the but I sort of everybody's experienced deja vu. What do you even think that is? What's happening to us as human beings when we have a deja vu? What even is that?
Apparently, there's a medical explanation for it, and it's not really part of the brain. You're not actually remembering it, even though you think you are.
Yeah.
But apparently, it's just a normal thing, and it's real. As in, it's not deja vu. It's just your brain not working properly,
Yeah, I
which
mean,
is
we
sad.
do. I mean, we are undoubtedly, as a species, creatures of habit. There are many things we do every day in exactly the same way at exactly the same time. You know, the alarm goes off, you get up, you go, you know, shit like that.
Yeah,
You get the bus at the same time. You know, there's a lot of things where we literally are repeating ourselves, and that has to go in your brain somewhere, get processed and shit, and you know, and it has happened before. But I think it's weird times when it really hits hard is when you know it hasn't happened before, because like when I had one at the airport in Spain the first time I went to Spain. So it's like I know I have not stood here before, so I know
yeah,
this hasn't happened to me before. You know,
but you still feel it.
but as you've just explained, no, it didn't happen to you before. Why are your fucked up brains telling you it's a memory? That's for smarter people than us in white coats with like at least like 6 pens in that top pocket, at least six. You know
Yeah.
that kind of level science.
I'm definitely not called Shig.
um, because if you watch too many movies like me, that's how I rate scientists. I think the number of biros they
How many
have in
pens
their
have got?
that kind of tells you that's some high level shit, you know. But if
I've
the
got
guy,
about
she's
three
gonna.
pencils in my pocket. So that's fine.
Anyway, look, I'm gonna let you go. I'm
Okay.
gonna let you go.
Thank
It's
you
been a
very
ton
much.
of fun. No, it's been a ton of fun, kids. This has been a man named Shig. He's currently over on TikTok making a life-size TikTok Tardis. Not just for fun though. This shit's going to be used in a fan film. I'm sure once you follow the TikTok Tardis, all the information will be there, all the links will be there because you'll want to check out this film when it's ready, no doubt. Um,
Absolutely. Wildfire Productions, Brandon. Have a
there
look
you
for him.
go. Check it out, kids. You heard it here first. So, notoriously, I've been incredibly bad at finding ways to end these shows. Since I've done this Johnny Fox reboot, and these are now Fox Tales. Kids, this has been Fox Tales featuring a man called Shig and his TikTok TARDIS. So how I'm going to end it now from here on here until the next rebranding, whatever that may be. For now, I'm going to end it like this. Shig, if you'll just look into the camera, give it that look at that, look at those sexy movie rock star eyes. Look at that, kids. If you just want to, I don't know how if you want to do this, if you want to give me however you want to do it, right? You're big on the 80s. If you want to venture like a Schwarzenegger impression, or if you just want to be erotic, or if you just want to go full Shig, or if you just want to go full Shig on it, whatever. It's up to you. You are free reign on this, but we're just going to end by saying, kids, keep it foxy. So you can just do that for me.
Definitely. Kids, keep it foxy.
There you go, kids. Until next time, farewell.